Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, the team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Wednesday episode of YSN Live. I'm Anthony Hartwig, and as always, with me on Wednesdays, Gary Altizer, our wrestling guru, our head honcho when it comes to wrestling coverage on YSN. We've been doing it together for 5 years now. This is season 5, and we're in the heat of the wrestling season. Gary, would you be safe to say past the halfway point, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely past the halfway point. I mean, we're headed to the end of January. This is where the regular season tournaments start to kind of wind up, and you'll see the conference and league tournaments coming up. And then at the end of next month, we'll see the postseason start.
Some big tournaments happened over the weekend. We'll start with the largest conference get-together in the country, in the OVAC tournament. Gary, I know you were there with Wellsville, and there were a lot of YSN teams there as well. Talk about the OVACs, the kind of the recap, what you saw out of the weekend, and some of the big winners of the OVAC as well.
It was a normal OVAC tournament. There was a lot of great wrestling. It's, for those that don't know, it's Ohio and West Virginia schools together in one big conference with over 40 teams. There are some of the best wrestlers in the state of West Virginia are in this tournament. Some of the best teams in West Virginia, also some of the biggest schools in that state are there, along with some local, as far as the Ohio Valley goes, Ohio schools. And it was a lot of great wrestling all 3 days. It's jam-packed full of wrestling, and now they added the girls in. So there were extra rounds with the girls wrestling. So the amount of wrestling that they got in that time was really, if you are a wrestling fan, there was not a lack of action going on the mats. I believe University out of West Virginia won the tournament. I believe Beaver Local came in third. They had a couple champs. They had a really nice tournament. East Liverpool had placers. Edison was there. Wellsville was there. Southern Local was there. As far as the YSN family goes, so it was a good tournament. And seeing the girls wrestle along with the boys was really nice to see. Their brackets were a lot smaller than the boys, but being the first year, that's expected, and it will grow. In the stands, there were a lot of people there to watch, and I'm sure the girls had a lot to do with that, with the extra parents and fans coming in to watch. So it was a great weekend. It's a long weekend for a coach. I know when I get home after this weekend, I'm whooped. You not only put in a lot of walking as far as the mileage goes, there are about 5 or 6 steps you have to walk up and down to get back and forth from where your kids are sitting to back down on the floor. So for a coach, it's definitely a exhausting weekend, and for the kids as well, because they're on the mat. They could wrestle, in 3 days. Who knows how much mat time they could get. So overall, it's a great way to really, hey, this is the middle of the season. This is something that that we are aware of, that's on the schedule. But from here on out, we know the home stretch of the regular season's coming.
We'll start with the boys' side. Who were some of the big winners and big takeaways from the OVAC?
Bobby Buhite from Beaver Local became a 4-time champion. He had a really tight match in the finals with a kid from Cambridge. I believe the final was 1-0. He won. So he gets to join that elite club of 4-time champions. Beaver Local had, I think, 1 or 2 other champs in that process. So I think they finished 3rd overall. They had just under 200 team points there. East Liverpool had several placers, and there was a finals match at the 106-pound weight class that had Beaver Local versus East Liverpool. So we had 2 YSN teams going at it with each other. Jordan Bates came home with a 7-1 win there at the 106-pound weight class. So those are the local ones and the ones in the YSN family. Really the big matches there. Of course, Steubenville Big Red was there. Barnesville. These are other really tough wrestling schools from Ohio. Just across the river from me, Oak Glen, which is in Hancock County, West Virginia, was there. So I would say that the first match of the night was the 106-pounder, the lowest weight class of the night, and that was Jordan Bates from Beaver Local, and then East Liverpool's 106-pounder was in there as well. And it was a 7-1 match. And, when you see 2 kids who are from neighboring schools wrestling each other, and you get to a big giant tournament like that where you've got 32-plus man brackets for it to come down to 2 kids who probably live a couple-minute drive from each other. I always think that's pretty ironic that they have to go all the way to Wheeling and get into a big tournament with each other in the finals.
Yep. We see a lot of that. It'll happen a lot in the basketball tournament as well. We'll see, 2 teams making the districts, but the district site is, an hour and a half away. And it's like, well, you know what? I guess we're just going to do this. Gary, you talked about Bobby Buhite, 4-time OVAC champion and elite club, to say the least. Ballpark, do you know, like, how many people have done that? Like, how that seems like something that's pretty special, hard to do. Winning 4 straight OVAC championships. I don't know if you know the exact number, but do you have like a ballpark of how many people have been able to do that?
It's probably around 8 to 10, I would say at the most. I know the first one was Mark Emmerling. He's an East Liverpool graduate. He's an assistant coach at Southern Local right now. He was the first one to ever do it. And there haven't been many. I think recently there have been more because they've been letting in these other teams at these newer schools, these big schools. Parkersburg South was in the OVAC for a long time. That was a nationally ranked team. So I think that they had a few. They've got guys that are wrestling Division I right now and ranked in the top as far as college goes. They've graduates that are wrestling D1 ranked in the top 5 or 10 right now. So they've had some guys that have come out of there that are really good. So I'm going to say about 10 probably. It's an elite club, that's for sure.
Bobby Buhite has been special. We had him on his freshman year on Wrestling Wednesday. He hasn't been on the show yet this year, but Chris Colucci did have a chance to catch up with him. And you can find an interview with Bobby Buhite and Chris Colucci on our YouTube page on the Wrestling Rundown playlist.
Yeah, Bobby's a great wrestler. I think he's missed some time this year, and he's just kind of picking and choosing what he wrestles in. But I got to see him wrestle a couple times. He didn't look like he missed a beat there at the OVAC tournament. So he seems to be ready to go on that postseason run. Kyle Ingram was the 106-pounder that they wrestled Jordan Bates in the finals from East Liverpool. Ingram and Bates both kind of blew through their competition to get to that finals. So I'm sure they'll be meeting again. I don't know if they're in the same district or not, but that could be another match that you could see at the district or even state level coming up.
On the girls' side of the OVAC, Paige Cowan of East Liverpool, one of the wrestlers on the girls' side that we've been covering for a while and has done a lot of special things. She wins the OVAC in the first girls' tournament down there. Talk about what that happened and some other things that happened on the girls' side of that bracket.
Yeah, these Liverpool girls did really well. Paige, Alana McGonigal, both were champions. I believe East Liverpool had 6 or 7 girls entered, and I think all but one placed. They also had, I believe, another finalist there. East Palestine had a placer, one that got to the finals. It was really, for me, someone who doesn't get to see the girls wrestle much at all, it's really great to see the competition out there, and they're getting better and better. Just the quality of the wrestling from the girls is improving every year, and it's because there are so many more girls that are trying out the sport. And the NWCA, the National Wrestling Coaches Association, just sent out a graphic to all the coaches that are members of that organization. And girls wrestling now in the United States has grown 550% over the last 10 years, and there are almost 80,000 high school girls who wrestle now, which is a crazy number. On the boys' side, over the last 10 years, participation has grown 16%. We were just talking about this, how anecdotally I've seen that the sport is growing, that there are more kids coming out. And now we've got hard facts. The boys' side, it was the highest number of participants that they've had since the 1970s. And back then, they counted the 7th and 8th graders in that count. So this might be the highest number ever for either side. And combined, you're talking about almost 500,000 kids participating in the sport. That's an amazing number.
It's funny because when, for a long time, and you've talked about it before on the boys' side, you've had to kind of compete with boys basketball, and there have been some kids that you feel like boys basketball might have taken away from wrestling. And I think on the girls' side, talking to some girls basketball coaches, talking to some ADs this year, it's kind of the opposite, where there are girls that like played basketball in middle school. Maybe they were gearing up for a basketball career in high school, and then the idea came down to make wrestling, a state-sanctioned sport. And all of a sudden, we're seeing girls go away from basketball and go into wrestling. It's kind of the opposite that we see from maybe the boys' side, where maybe some guys that wrestled in middle school did both, kind of go towards basketball. On the girls' side, it's kind of, there's a lot of girls that are kind of leaving basketball to go do wrestling, which is, it's cool. It's cool to see wrestling get as big as it is. In the small schools, I know it's hard. You got to juggle kids. Gary, you know that too. So like when one girl leaves one sport for the other, it's kind of like you're almost cannibalizing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the nature of the beast. But it's coming with big numbers and big things for girls wrestling, and we're seeing a lot of success on our area of girls wrestling. Paige Cowan just being one of many girls that is putting on a great show this year as well. Gary, quickly before we get to our interview for the day, why don't we recap Top Gun too? Because that was a big weekend tournament that happened over the weekend as well.
Yeah, on the girls' side, Austintown Fitch came out on top. They had scored 134 team points there to come home with that win. And United, with a really strong showing, they came in 4th. Salem came in 6th. West Branch came in 8th. And Poland was 12th there. On the boys' side, Clovis North won it. Brecksville came in 2nd. These are crazy good names as far as high school wrestling goes. Austintown Fitch finished highest in the YSN family. They came in at 6th place. And then Canfield was 13th, and Southeast coming in with a really strong showing there at 14th place. This is a tournament that's got really even more, or probably close to, I don't know about more, but they've got close to as many as the OVAC. I don't know if they have as many wrestlers, though, but they've got some really, really tough teams that are in there coming to wrestle at this tournament. So, you've got Austintown Fitch. Both teams finished inside the top 6 with one of them winning it. That's just a testament to their program and how well they're doing.
Yeah, and like we've said before on Wrestling Wednesday, sometimes these team placements can be a little bit of a not indicative of how good the wrestlers on the team are, because, of course, to place high in a tournament, you have to have all the weight groups, and some teams have really strong wrestlers, but they just don't have the numbers to fill up the whole docket, so maybe they don't place as high on the team side. But we know that there are some wrestlers on some of those schools that we mentioned that maybe didn't place in the top 5 or top 4 at Top Gun, but they're still putting in some good work. Let's talk about putting in some good work, Gary. It is time to transition into our special guest for the day on Wrestling Wednesday, someone that we've had an eye on for a while and has done a lot of great things this season. Gary, you've noticed the things that this young man has been able to do, and you've talked about him a couple of times, and I think maybe he'll be on a pretty cool list this week. Big Dogs releases on Wednesday, and wink wink nudge nudge, you might want to get ready, Crusty Rebel fans. Trevor McElhaney from the Rebels Wrestling Room coming to us. Trevor, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an honor to be on here.
Yes, we are honored to have you. Let's just be honest. Like we're the ones that are honored because you're taking time out of the middle of your day to come talk to a couple of random people on YSN that will love to talk about wrestling. We'll start with this. We talked about at the top. You are having a lot of success this year and doing a lot of good things. What has been some of the keys to the success this season? What are some things that are working so well for you?
This facility we've had that I'm currently sitting in right now, the weight room, and then you got the turf field in the back, just working hard all the time. And then we recently got a new wrestling room. That also helps us. Training is really important, and to have the good atmosphere, good equipment, it always helps you become better. And plus, coaching. My coaches are phenomenal. They always want the best out of us, expect nothing less. And that's how you become good. That's how I always see it.
Hey, Trevor, that's great to hear. You guys got a new room. I know that we've been up in the past to practice, and I think you guys are practicing on that mezzanine up behind the stands in the gym. So to get your own facility, that's got to be really exciting. Just to start things off, I mean, Crestfield, you guys have done great this year. You guys have won some tournaments, and it looks like you guys have a real solid foundation of sophomores. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So have you guys been wrestling together for a long time, and do you think that these new facilities have helped your numbers?
Yeah, it definitely creates some interest for new kids coming in, seeing all the new equipment, and then seeing how we're doing with the new equipment, definitely brings in some more interest for, say, kids who are on the fence or just think about joining.
When you see guys come in, get excited about wrestling and want to push themselves to kind of join the sport, what does that do for you? Does that like push you and get you even more motivated to go and do great things, that you see more kids come out and want to be a part of this Rebels program?
I'm always open for new kids to join. I love seeing. I'll be in school and I'll be talking to kids and they'll be like, "Oh, I'd like to join the wrestling team." I'm all for it. I love having more kids on the team. Creates numbers, creates wrestling teaches a lot, and I feel like it creates you a better person. So I'm always for them showing up and coming out.
All right, Trevor, I looked at some of your results from last season. I think you were a runner-up at sectionals. You got to the district tournament, and I saw you lost a real tough one there in the consolations. I'm sure that's been something you've been thinking about. What are the goals for this year? Where do you want to be?
Well, every wrestler's goal is to win state every year, but you got to somehow have a backup plan, and mine's to qualify for state. I've had a bad taste in my mouth ever since losing at districts.
When things don't go your way, you learn from it. What are some lessons that you learned from last year's tournament that will make you better when this tournament comes around and give you a better chance to get out of districts and place in the state?
You just always got to be smart. Don't always set up everything you can. Just don't start going out and throwing random stuff. And you got to actually work into your moves and just have a positive attitude. Attitude's everything in this sport. You always got to have a positive mindset going into the match, thinking, I'm going to win this match, and then going out there and executing your plan that you've been practicing, setting up all week.
So every week we talk about this. Every good wrestler has a good drill partner or partners there at Crestfield. You guys have some strong middleweights. So I could take a wild guess at probably a couple of the guys that you drill with. Is there one person or a couple guys that are your go-tos that push you and make you better in the room?
Oh, definitely. Bo Julian, he's our 165 currently. He pushes me a lot. And then got Josh Smith. He's that guy above me who's been like kind of a mentor in me in the sport. Those two are the guys who introduced me to wrestling, and they're always the ones that are pushing me. And then I'll drill with my coach occasionally, and he'll always give me a good run for my money. I'll say that.
Yeah, the wrestling room and these wrestling partners are ways that you can fine-tune things. They're ways that you can add some things to your game and try to see what works, what doesn't in a practice setting. What are some things lately that you've been working on that you've been trying to add and supplement to your game?
I'm all about strength. I'm always in the weight room working on strength because the best way to beat a kid is out-strength them. Because if you got more strength than him, you're controlling the match at your speed, your pace. So that's always been my thing. I'm always up here lifting, or I'm down there strength conditioning, because you got to have good pace with your conditioning as well, with your strength. and I'm always with training, just strength and conditioning. That's all you need.
Okay, every week we always ask this our favorite question. How is your weight cut? And after you step on that scale, you make weight, you step off. What's your go-to meal?
I'm not really a big eating guy after. I'm usually a drink. I always go get it nice. I like pop. I'm a big pop guy. And it's not great for me before a match, but I've always been a big pop guy. Like a Coke or Mountain Dew, something.
Nice
Like
and refreshing, yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
if I had to choose, a Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Okay.
First
like it.
time for that one, Anthony, for sure.
I like it. I like
that.
it.
That's a good answer.
We also like to talk about the mental aspect of wrestling. I don't think it gets talked about enough because people focus on the physical aspect and how strong you have to be and how much you're kind of pushing your body past pain a little bit sometimes. But the mental aspect has to be strong too. What's your mental approach when you're on the mat? What are some things you're going through mentally that you want to be at the peak when you're out there against somebody else?
Going back on what I said earlier, the positive attitude. You always got to go out there with the want to be on the mat and the want to win. Like, you got to have that want mentality. Just go out there and any sport I ever done, I always wanted to be there and I've always wanted to win. So going out there wanting to hit this move or hit this finish, I've always want to do the most of my ability to finish that, execute it, and then come out with the win. That's all. I've always had that mentality, and then I feel like that's what every wrestler needs. You also have the mentality of commitment. Commitment's a really big thing, and I've always been big on commitment.
So you talked about lifting weights earlier, and that's something I don't think this sport talks about enough. And you're right. If you can go out there, if you're stronger than somebody, you can control the match. Is that something that you do in your spare time, or something that you guys focus on as a team? How do you approach it?
I lift 2 times a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Once with my football team and then once with my wrestling team. Wrestling, we go Monday through Thursday. We do 45 minutes beginning of practice. And occasionally I'll do maybe like a Sunday lift or something else. But I'm always lifting. Yeah, you couldn't, if you ever came up in the facility during the weekdays or like occasionally on a Sunday afternoon, you're going to see me.
What's your favorite set? Your favorite circuit on the weightlifting?
I'm a big bench guy. I love bench.
Where are we at? How much you benching right now?
Right now, I haven't maxed since last year. But last year when I did hit it, I was at 270. Right now, I could probably get 260, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while.
It's probably that means you can bench some of your teammates just straight up, which is a good flex to have. One of the things I like to also talk about, no matter what athlete or what sport, we want to talk about role models, the people in your life that influence you, that kind of give you that motivation to keep going on the hard days. Who are those role models for you in your life?
My parents, always been a big one. They've always been with me. My mom, we used to call her my momager. She used to always go around when I traveled. She'd control everything I did, diet. She's always on me with my diets. If I'm at home picking out, she cuts it out, takes everything out of the house, goes shopping, gets some healthy foods. Then my dad, he's the one who pushes me for my training, gets on me. If I say one day, I really don't feel like going, he gets me in the attitude to where I want to go and I want to compete that day. So they've been my big influences.
Your momager is probably not too happy with the Dr. Pepper answer.
Oh, no, she's not. I've told her about that before.
Sorry, Mom. We're bad influences. Gary, what you got? You have any last questions for Mr. McElhaney?
Yeah, it sounds like you have an amazing support system. So I'm sure that's been a big part of your success. But if you had to point to something else, was it, maybe you learning takedowns? Was it your strength? Was it your gas tank? What do you think it is that has helped you become a better wrestler, and maybe something outside of the norm? Is there anything that you feel like, hey, wow, this has really taken me to the next level?
I feel like the community, really, all the support that we've been getting lately. I feel like we've got more recognition this year. And then I'm big on fans. I like having people coming out and supporting me. I feel like I perform best when I have people out there supporting me than when I don't. So with the amount of people that I've seen show up we had a home meet, the Rebel Rally, and there was a decent turnout. The people who aren't in the sport, don't have anybody related to it, they were showing up there. And I felt like that was a great thing. I felt like I performed good when I see other people coming out and supporting me. And then you also got the just the fans and everything else. That's about it. And it helps me perform at my next level, and I feel like it does for our team.
Nothing get you more pumped up for a match than having your community screaming for you. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And the Rebel community is unmatched when it comes to screaming for their athletes. Trevor, we know that you're making everyone in Crestview proud. You're making everyone at YSN proud. We're so happy that you're able to come on, talk to us about your journey, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of this year. And we can't wait to see the next big thing that you do, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Good luck, Trevor. Thank you.
Thanks.
From Crestview, Trevor McElhaney. Let's go. Like I said, maybe don't want to give away the whole farm, but Rebel fans, you might want to get ready for big dogs. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe, could be.
Absolutely.
Maybe this week, maybe next week, maybe two. But just keep your eyes open. Just keep your eyes open, Rebel fans, because you got something coming. Gary, before we get out of here, obviously you are on a limited time crunch. My last thing for you, one of the things that he was talking about that I want to kind of bring up, strength is so important. We haven't talked about weightlifting a lot in wrestling, and you said if you're stronger than your opponent, you can have a lot more, opportunities to control the match. My first question that pops up is, if you are someone that comes into a match and maybe you're out strength, maybe you're not as strong as the guy across from you, what are some of your pathways still to victory? Can you beat him with speed? Can you beat him with a little bit of smarts? If you find yourself a little bit outmatched strength-wise, what are some of the avenues that you would tell kids, hey, you still have a chance to win this match because you can do this, this, and this?
Well, just to answer your question plainly, just being stronger than somebody is not going to win you a wrestling match. But if you're a great wrestler like Trevor is, and you're strong, now you're talking about putting yourself at a different level. So, him saying he lifts like 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day. I know that he's grinding in that wrestling room. He's learning how to wrestle. He's getting the mat time. And then he's putting in the work after practice, before practice, and on the weekends to lift weights. I mean, he really, that's going to push you to another level. So there are a lot of guys who go out there and wrestle and win matches who aren't as strong as their opponent. But if you're a good wrestler, you can overcome that, and you can overcome it easily. And, sometimes you'll see folks who rely too much on their strength. They can get kind of caught up in that, and maybe their gas tank isn't as good, that their cardio is not as great, or they're not as technical. So, having the mix of all of that, it can really push you over the top. And it is something that I don't think it's talked about enough. A lot of teams will incorporate it into their practices or into their week. But there are, you have to balance your time with that. So making that a priority outside of practice, and maybe outside of the structure time that you have, the 2 to 3 hours a day that you get to practice, can really push you over the top.
All right, Gary, we want to real quickly, is there anything going on this week that we have to know about before we let you go? Anything that we need to preview before we let you go?
East Palestine's having a tournament right there. YSN, DJ's hometown. They're having a tournament. This is I believe their second year. And from what I saw, I think there's 22 teams coming. That's going to be a pretty big one. So that's where we're headed. That's the most local one that I can think of off the top of my head. I believe the Hepner's coming up here too at Fitch. I'm not sure which weekend that is, but that's another big one locally.
Gary, we love having you. Wrestling Wednesdays are always fun. We appreciate your time, and we can't wait to see you back here next week for another great episode.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. Had a blast.
All right, Gary. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Take care.
Gary Altizer, Wrestling Wednesday, our guru, our head honcho of wrestling. We've had a couple of guys step up as well. Chris Colucci always gets great shout-outs on Wrestling Wednesday for what he does for our coverage. But 5 years running now with Gary Altizer coming on to this show every week during the winter, talking about wrestling and really enhancing our coverage of the sport. We get a lot of compliments on what we're able to do with wrestling, and we appreciate it. We do, but we just kind of forward that to Gary, because everything that we've done for wrestling wouldn't have been done if Gary didn't step up 5 years ago and say, I'm willing to give up a half an hour of my day on Wednesday every week to talk about the sport, not just my athletes. Remember, he is a coach at Wellsville, but also just talk about all the athletes on YSN and gas them all up and make sure they're all getting as much love and coverage as it takes. That's not necessarily the norm when it comes to coach. Usually when you're a coach, you're focused on your people, and maybe you don't have a thumbprint on the pulse of the rest of the sport in a knowledgeable aspect because you're so focused on your team and your players. But Gary, man, he even before Wrestling Wednesday, because one of the selling points he had for it was, I know what everyone else in the area is doing, and I have a thumbprint on the pulse of wrestling in the area. He's obviously a big wrestling fan, along with a coach, so he's done a lot of big things, and he does a lot of big things for wrestling in the sport. So if you're out there, if your team's wrestling with Wellsville, make sure you give Gary a little fist bump, a little handshake, and thank him for what he's been able to do for this sport of wrestling. I said it again. Chris Galucci has a couple of interviews as well as ours, so make sure to check out our YouTube page for his latest wrestling rundown and keep up with the sport as much as we do and we can. We are going to transition into another pre-recorded interview. This time we're going to go into West Branch. Ty Bartell had a chance before the season to sit down with a couple of West Branch players. We just got some brand new pictures of them. We were able to kind of methodically post them over the last couple of weeks. And so we're going to hear one of them. It's Haley V. Burton going on and talking about her journey and her senior year and what's been going on in the West Branch girls basketball community. So here's Ty Bartell with that great player profile.
What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Player Profile. This time I am joined by one of these seniors over from the West Branch Warriors girls basketball team, Hallie V. Burton, joining me today. Hallie V, what's up? How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm very excited about this West Branch team coming into this season. You guys have a lot of experience, a lot of girls that have been there, been around the block a couple of times too, in terms of full high school basketball seasons. Where's your excitement like? What's it like going into senior year for you?
I'm really excited. We have a lot of people coming back. We have a really good team. We all work really well together. I think we can do a lot this season, and I hope that we can accomplish all of our goals.
What's it like playing with a team that you have so much chemistry with and girls that you've played a lot of games with and tough games and were able to come out on the winning end?
It's amazing. Like, I've been playing with most of these girls since 5th, 6th grade. We've just all gotten along so well, and we just know what to do with each other when we're playing. It's amazing. Like, we can almost like read each other's minds. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, it's great.
You mentioned since a young age playing the game. When did you first start getting involved into the sport of basketball? What's some of your earliest memories?
My mom had me playing basketball from the age of probably 7 years old. Like, my family, our favorite sport to watch is basketball, and we always would watch all the games and everything. My earliest memory is probably, I don't know why I remember this, but my earliest memory is probably after a basketball game in 5th grade. My grandma told me, she said, you could be really good at this if you really put some work into it. And ever since then, I've always just decided that basketball is my thing. That's all I've done since then.
I love how you have that nugget too. That's kind of inspired you throughout your journey. You mentioned watching the game too. What teams are you typically watching? What are you looking to watch when you're watching basketball?
Well, since we've gotten older, it's been ever since the whole Caitlin Clark thing, we've really watched a lot more girl sports and everything like that. But when I was little, I had no idea who we were watching. My dad would just turn it on and we would all just kind of. But it's definitely our favorite sport because we have a kind of a court outside, and we're always out there shooting and playing as a family, and yeah, it's kind of like a family thing.
So obviously you get involved, and it's always a fun thing to do too. Playing sports and getting involved in sports is fun, especially when you're younger. When did it start becoming more than a hobby for you and something that you started saying this is kind of like part of who I am and who I'm going to be throughout high school?
I would say in 6th grade is when I really started trying to improve, because I was probably one of the worst players on the team in 6th grade and 5th grade. And my mom she started having me do training and everything. So I just started to actually love it. And I started going out and shooting every single day. And then once I got to middle school and I got to play for the school in 7th grade is when I feel like we finally decided that okay, this is my thing, because that's when I started playing AAU. And ever since then, me and my team have just been we've just been flourishing. We've always worked so well together.
With developing all your skills, which one do you feel took the longest to develop that you're the most proud of?
The one I'm the most proud of for sure is probably my ability to like get to the hoop. That's probably my strongest skill that I have. One that I still need to work on a little more is probably my outside shooting. But I take a lot of pride in my defense too, because I feel like that's probably the most important part of basketball. And so my team, we work really hard on defense. Like defense is our thing. So if you're bad at defense, then you got to get better because you won't see the court as much, especially at West Branch. So I feel like defense and getting to the hoop are my most important, like my best qualities when it comes to basketball.
I like how you're continuing to work on skills too, and you're showing an importance in that too. You should always be working on parts of the game too, and I like that mindset from you. Talk about mindsets too. How do you feel like your mindset has changed from freshman year to now? Where do you feel like you differ in that department?
My freshman year, I was terrified. I came into the first practice and I was so scared, and I didn't want to mess up. And the only thing I was thinking about is like making my coach proud, like making him see me. And I was just terrified. But now that I've gotten older, like even last year, I've realized it's more of like, you just got to like, you can't think about it as much, because I would just freak out and I wouldn't know what to do, and it'd make me mess up more. But my mindset has definitely gotten a lot better because I've been able to, when I make a mistake, just kind of bounce back from it and work to like get back my mistake. Like before I would just like hang my head and throw a fit, but now I've gotten a lot better about that.
What's another lesson that you've kind of learned the hard way, and how has it made you a better player, person, teammate?
I feel like a lesson I learned the hard way is like, not the hard way. I just feel like when I was younger, I always really appreciated when the older girls would like talk to me, or like when they would help me like learn plays and everything like that. So now that I'm like the older girl, that I'm a senior, I feel like it's very important that I like include the freshmen, or like help them when they need help, and like be understanding that they're new and that like they don't really understand what's going on yet. That's probably because as a freshman, like I mentioned, I was just terrified of everything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was so shy. But now that I've gotten older, like that's one of the things I appreciated the most, because the seniors were always so nice to us, and like I just learned so much from them. So I was hoping that I could be like that senior for the younger girls.
So I guess a piece of advice, what's I guess the biggest thing you hope that freshmen coming in would understand about playing for this team, playing for this program too, that maybe took you a little bit longer to understand, but once you did understand, it kind of calmed things down. What's that thing that you think the freshmen, if they understand, will help them out?
I think what's very important to our team is, like I mentioned, defense. Like our defense is one of our most important things. We take a lot of pride in that. And also you just need to understand, like you need to learn the plays. Like there's a lot of them and it might be hard, but if you learn the plays, then I promise that their life is going to be easier, because that's probably one of our most important things that like younger girls mess up. But as long as you work hard on defense and you understand what's going on with plays, everything should be fine.
We're talking about the next generation of Warriors, but there's a lot of this generation right now currently, and a lot of seniors, a lot of experience on this team. In your opinion, as one of the leaders, one of the seniors on this team, what do you feel this team has to do for you guys to reach your fullest potential?
That's a good question. I feel like we just need to figure out we need to figure out whose roles is what, like what roles we each have. We need to understand that not everybody is a scorer. Not everybody is going to be like, scoring 20 points a game. And we need to understand that some people are better at other things than others, because I feel like we would just work so much more well together if we all just understand our roles and like work as a team more, I feel like.
Oh, I get exactly what you're saying. I'm on the same wavelength with you. So in saying that, then what is for your role when you're trying to bring the energy to the team every day? What is that energy you're trying to bring? What is the tone you're looking to set for the locker room?
Well, especially before games, like we just need to really focus, and we need to like know what we're doing. Like I feel like the most important thing is like we get our scouting reports. You need to study your scouting report. Like you shouldn't really be messing around before games in the locker room. Like we need to take it seriously, and we need to work hard. And especially like during practice, like it's fine to have fun, but like we need to work hard and focus on what our coach is saying and like all of our plays and stuff like that.
So you talk about your skills throughout basketball too, and how they've developed over the years. In game is one of those cases too, where I feel like it kind of helps you realize the kind of competition you got out there. Who's one of the better defenders you've gone up against, whether in the team or outside of the team, that's helped make you a better basketball player?
The best defender that I've ever played against is one of the seniors on my team. Her name's Ali Kanegi. She's short and little, but she can guard me, and I'm 5'9", and she's like 5'4", and she can guard me better than anybody else. Like she works so hard on defense, and she's probably one of the best defensive players I've ever like seen in my whole entire career. So like it doesn't matter who she's guarding. She could be guarding a 6-foot girl and still have her like that's definitely one of my best defenders I've went against ever.
I love it. I also love the kind of the drills and things that are put together, how you guys practice over there in West Branch, because you guys really, I feel like that's when we see a lot of improvements. What's one of your favorite drills? What's one of the toughest drills that you guys run?
The toughest drill we run is we do like a 3-on-4, and there's 4 girls on the outside of like the 3-point line, and then there's 3 in the middle, and you have to play defense, but the offense can move, and you have to like stop them from scoring. But if they score on you, then you go out. So it's like it pushes us to work really hard, and it pushes us to compete with each other, and it makes us hate the idea of letting the other team score. And I think that's why we are so good at defense and why we take so much pride in it.
So for you personally, when you're having one of your best games, what does it look like for someone who's in attendance watching as a fan? What does it feel like to you?
One of my better games is when the girl I'm guarding doesn't score her average amount of points that she's scoring. And also I like to score at least like I don't worry much about scoring. I try to focus on the defensive aspect because we have a lot of girls that are more score heavy on my team. And I feel like as long as I do my job and stop the ball from going in the other hoop, then that's all that matters, because I have other girls on my team that will be able to score and help carry our team. And honestly, as long as my girl's not scoring and as long as I'm helping on defense, I'm happy. That's all that matters.
What's one of your whys as to why you step out onto that court each and every time?
I would say, well, like I said, the moment with my grandma, because she told me that if I worked really hard, I could be good at it. And then also, I just really like playing for West Branch. We've always just had this it's like expected for us to do good at our school. Our girls basketball program is one of our best programs, I would say. And I just play for for all the people that came before me that are just like, you just got to keep the legacy going.
In your basketball career, if you think back on a moment in time, a game, something like that, is there one of those that still give you goosebumps if you look back and reflect on?
I would say any game against any games where we win EBC or like where it's a close game. I can't think of a specific one because there's just so many that I've had, but it's just winning like those close games to like win an EBC or win a game in a tournament, anything like that is just like the feeling is unmatched. Like it's just a great thing to experience with my team.
What's the most fun part of basketball for you?
Definitely. Well, games are fun, but they're also nerve-wracking. Practices are so fun because it's like there's no pressure. You can just go play. Like I look forward to practice at school. Like I just can't wait to go play basketball. And then the time I get to spend with my team in the locker room and on bus rides, those are memories that I probably will have forever because my teammates are my best friends. And that's probably the best part about basketball.
I know throughout this journey and in this interview, you mentioned doing this for a lot of other people too. And you mentioned a lot of other people in your journey, but talk to me about something that you're trying to prove to yourself and not anybody else.
I'm trying to prove that when I was younger, I was not the fastest or quickest when it came to like playing defense or like scoring or anything like that. I've always been slower compared to everybody else. I'm trying to prove that all the hard work I've put in over the last 2 years is paying off, because especially my junior, like the season after my sophomore year and the season after my junior year is when I've really been working hard. I've been playing AAU, like I've been putting all the time in. So I'm trying to prove to myself that work has paid off, and all that time I've spent working out and shooting and everything like that is paid off, and it wasn't just a big waste of time.
I love it, Allie B. I love it. Before I let you go, I always like to do a round of rapid fire with all of our student athletes. So are you ready?
Yep.
All right. What's your favorite basketball move?
Probably spin move.
What's the toughest basketball move to defend against?
Probably a Euro step.
What would you prefer? Do you like the layups or do you like a jumper?
Layups.
What would you prefer? Game-winning shot or game-winning steal?
Game-winning steal.
I had a feeling about that. What's your favorite gym to play in outside of home gym?
Probably Carrollton's gym.
Oh, Carrollton. We're
It's
giving
very
some love.
nice. It's
Yeah,
really
I'm
nice.
not disagreeing too. I was surprised giving a little love Carrollton's way. I like it. You could pick any shoe brand, rep any kind of shoe for a game. Which one you repping?
Probably just, I'm not big on shoes. Probably just like Nike. I don't know. I just kind of buy whatever.
All right. So is it about color scheme? Anything like that
Yes,
for you? Is
I
it more-
love the color purple. As long as my shoes are purple, that's all that matters.
Okay, so we know that the Halle V ones are going to have at least some sort of purple in that mix too. You mentioned? I know you mentioned watching Caitlin Clark too, and since that got getting involved in girls sports, more in women's sports too. Would you say she's your favorite basketball? Who is your favorite basketball player?
I'd say Paige Beckers probably.
Okay, that's another great one too.
Yeah.
She's been tearing it up. What's your favorite road trip snack or a snack we'll always find in your basketball bag?
Talkies. I love Talkies.
Which ones are we going? The Fuegos, the Blue Heat, or it doesn't matter?
I like they're like the Dorito version of Talkies. They're like the lime green bag, and they're so good. They're my favorite thing ever.
My kid's obsessed with Takis too. She's always got bags full of them too. So she's on that train as well. What is I know you guard a few positions, especially in switching. What's one of the tougher ones to guard?
Position wise?
Position wise.
I don't, probably like the big tall post player.
trying to body up one of
Yes,
those.
'cause I'm a shorter post player, so it's kind of difficult for me sometimes. But
What for you personally? Are you more of the morning bird or the night owl?
both. I like waking up early, and I like staying early. I kind of do both.
Oh wow!
Probably more of a night owl, I guess.
Okay, we're leaning at least on the fence here. You're one of the first that rode the fence. You're just an all kind bird. You're an all day type of bird. What's the go-to hype song for you right now?
Right now, I don't know. My music changes so much. Probably, I like the song, any song by like Glorilla or anything like that.
Okay. I mean, we just did a little bit of a category. I like it. I dig it. For you, are you more of a TikTok or an Instagram user?
I don't have either.
Oh, so we're nothing. We put the X up on everything. All right, I dig it. I think you're the first one on that. What about Netflix or YouTube? Or we have X's on both of those as well.
No, I'm more of a YouTube kind of person.
YouTube person, okay. Who's your favorite teacher that you've had at West Branch?
My favorite teacher, that's hard. Probably.
You don't have to give the medal to just one, too. We could give love to all the teachers out there, but one of your favorites. We don't have to say it's the end-all be-all favorite.
One of my favorites is probably Miss Herman, my English teacher in 10th grade.
Okay. Don't feel bad, any other teachers out there. What's one of your favorite holidays?
My favorite holiday is probably New Year's because I just love the celebration of it.
New Year's. Wow. I think you're the first one voting for New Year's. I think like Christmas is by and far the favorite. I think like 4th of July gets a few lovers as well too, but New Year's, okay.
Yeah.
What if you could have any superpower, if we could give you any one superpower, what would that be?
Probably read minds.
Would you use it on the court too? Would you kind of that'd be your kind of the superpower on the court too, that you better be top notch defensively, be in front of everybody. What's the most used emoji in your phone?
It's kind of like an inside joke with me and my friends, but it's the one that like goes like that.
Okay, I think I follow along. Someone else I think said that as well too. So we're part of that group. If we're going fast food, I know Beloit, you got to kind of go out a little bit to get to some fast food spots. But if we are going fast food, where are we going?
I love Panera. Panera is so slept on. It's my favorite.
I got to agree with you. I do agree with you. Panera slept on. What are we getting from Panera?
The mac and cheese. And then I always kind of pick either like the broccoli cheddar soup or like a chicken noodle soup. because I can get like the combo. That's what I want to get.
You're on the right track there, Allie, but you know what you're talking about. When you get a day off from school, from practice and all that, what's the best thing to do when you got a day off?
Sleep in and then hang out with my friends.
Always get some extra Z's. You talk about the friends, you talk about the teammates. Who's the funniest one on the team?
The funniest, probably Ali Kanegi.
Who's the loudest one on the team?
Probably me.
Oh, you're gonna take that. I like that
Yeah.
one. Who's the quietest one on the team? Who's the one you're trying to break out of their shell?
Audrey Eaton.
Yeah, that one's getting a lot of love. We got to try to talk with Audrey Eaton.
Yeah.
I think. Who's the most focused teammate? Who's treating like practice like it's the playoffs?
Probably also Audrey.
Audrey. Okay, yeah. So we got to get her a little bit on the fun
Yeah.
side too. Who's the best trash talker on the team? Who likes to give it to you a little bit?
Sammy baby.
Yeah, so Sammy's got that fun personality too.
Yeah.
I can see it. What about dancing wise? Who's got the moves on the team? Who's the best dancer?
Ali Kanegi.
Allie's got the dance moves. Okay,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected it. Who's a teammate if things are kind of going awry in a game too? Who's besides yourself? Who do you trust to kind of calm things down in a huddle?
Alini Baconi.
If we are going to have one teammate cook a team dinner for everybody, who are we choosing?
My best friend Tally, because her dad is a chef and she's like a really good cook.
She took that one as well
Yeah.
too. That was the one crown that she was willing to take.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, Allie V, I want to give you the opportunity. Take that spotlight, shine it on anybody that you didn't get to shout out throughout this interview. Give some love to those people that were big influencers on your journey.
Probably the biggest influence ever in my whole basketball journey is my dad, because he's obviously paid for all the stuff I've done, and he just always encourages me. He gives me advice. I don't know what I do without my dad, honestly. He's probably the most important part of everything. And then my mom, obviously, too, but she just doesn't really, like, my dad understands the sport more. And that's probably all, besides, like my grandma, obviously, and all that. But my dad is probably the biggest reason that I'm even here right now.
Got to give the love to the parents as well,
Mhm.
too. And those are the two biggest ones. Well, we got a lot of love for you here at YSN as well, Allie V. For you and all the West Branch Warriors, we're wishing you the best of luck this basketball season, as we all think and have high hopes for what you guys and gals, I should say, be able to do this season. Best of luck this year, Allie V, and we'll be talking to you and seeing you out there on the court real soon.
Thank you.
What a great interview with West Branch's Hallie V. Burton, and you can find a bunch of West Branch player profiles, like I said, that have been posted kind of periodically over the last 2 weeks on our YouTube and on our website as well. You got her, you got Tally Muniz, you got Sammy Beatty, Tally, no, I already said Tally. Ali Kanegi also with an interview that just went up yesterday. So a bunch of player profiles on West Branch, and I believe there's still one more that we still have to post. So keep your eyes tuned for that, Warrior fans. We got more coming as well. So what a great show. We had a little bit of Wrestling Wednesday. We had Trevor McElhaney and him coming on. We want to thank him for his time, of course. We want to thank Ty Bartel for doing those interviews like he always does. He's so good at them. And Hallie V. Burton for giving us her time and doing that interview with us. We also want to thank all of you for tuning in to a wonderful Wednesday episode of YSN Live. Before we get out of here, you know how we end the show. We had to get to one of our best sponsors on YSN, one of our favorites, Joe Dickey Electric, everything electrical. You can find them at DickeyElectric.com. They always sponsor the Spark, and that's how we always end the show. Here's your Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Spark today. How about head coach Jeff Brink from Springfield? 400 career wins. That is such a big milestone. Congratulations, coach. That is a lot of time and effort put into those 400 wins, and he's done a lot for all the programs that he's been a part of, especially Springfield coming back home a couple years ago and bringing that Springfield program to what it is. They get the upset win over Middle Ridge. They moved to 9-6 on the season, and they are having a head full of steam as they go and host Waterloo on Thursday to continue that season. But congratulations to Coach Brink on win number 400. You find a story about that game and a post-game interview with Coach Brink that Noah Doty was able to get on ysnlive.com, as well as our YouTube page for the interview. Make sure to check that out at your earliest convenience. We also want to congratulate the Tigers on the big win. It's a big win regardless of the milestone, a big upset victory in the MVAC. So, for Anthony Hartley, that'll do it for today's episode of YSN Live. Thank you so much again to all the people that were a part of it. Gary Altizer, Trevor McElhaney, Haley Viburton, Ty Bartell, and all of you for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, 12 to noon. Me and DJ back together tomorrow. We want to thank you so much, and thank you for this wonderful comment. We are not the GOAT, but we try to be, and we'll try to be better tomorrow like we always do. May the sports be with you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.